Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize the gentleman from the 1st District of Bataan, Honorable Vice Chairperson Antonino B. Roman III, to sponsor his measure.
The Honorable Roman is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to co-sponsor Committee Report number 474 and House Bill number 9970. Mr. Speaker, our Constitution declares Filipino as our national language. It also declares English as one of our official languages. Isa ang nagsasalamin kung sino tayo, isa naman ang tumutulong magpasya kung hanggang saan tayo makakarating. Filipino continues to evolve through the influence of our many regional languages and dialects. English is different. There are no English dialects. We either speak good English or bad English. At minsan, confident lang. For decades, English proficiency has been one of our greatest competitive advantages. We proudly tell investors, tourists, and employers that Filipinos speak English. At kapag nag-a-apply tayo ng trabaho, hindi natin inilalagay sa resume, can speak Filipino. Automatic na yon. Ang nilalagay natin, fluent in English. Why? Because English has economic value. It helped build our IT BPM industry. It strengthened tourism. It attracted investments. It opened doors for Filipino workers around the world. When multinational companies hire Filipinos, they do not measure our patriotism. They measure our proficiency. Hindi nila tayo binibigyan ng score sa pagmamahal sa bayan, pero binibigyan nila tayo ng trabaho kapag naiintindihan nila tayo. Mr. Speaker, we learn English early. Many of our textbooks and college courses use English. Our statutes, contracts, and most Supreme Court decisions are written in English. English is woven into government, into business, into science, into technology. Yet despite this advantage, we are losing ground. The numbers are alarming. EDCOM 2 reports that by grade 12, only 0.4% of Filipino learners demonstrate workplace-ready competencies. 9 out of 10 Filipino children by age 10 cannot read with comprehension. Our country continues to struggle in international reading assessments. Our English proficiency ranking has also declined globally. The British Council likewise found structural weaknesses in English instruction. Only 26% of teachers assessed reached the B1 proficiency level under the Common European Framework of Reference. Meanwhile, countries such as Malaysia, Vietnam, India continue investing aggressively in English proficiency. They are improving. We cannot afford to stand still because standing still means falling behind. Mr. Speaker, hindi lang ito usapan ng edukasyon, usapin ito ng trabaho, usapin ito ng negosyo, at sa huli, usapin ito ng kabuhayan. English proficiency affects whether our graduates qualify for higher paying jobs, whether multinational companies continue investing here, whether our professionals can compete globally. Kung may isang kakayahan na makapagbibigay ng mas magandang trabaho, mas mataas na sahod, at mas maraming oportunidad, bakit naman ipagkakait yon sa ating mga kababayan? House Bill number 9970 offers a simple response. It declares the first week of September of every year as National English Competency Week. Hindi ito bagong holiday. Alam ko yung unang tanong ng ilan. Hindi ito dagdag na red tape. Isa lang itong paalala, isang linggo bawat taon na mahalaga ang husay sa Ingles. The measure encourages debates, essay writing contests, public speaking workshops, spelling bees, storytelling, forums, and recognition of excellence. It brings together schools, government agencies, local government units, and private institutions. And it directs DepEd, CHED, TESDA, CSC, DOLE, and the Philippine Information Agency to jointly organize observance without disrupting regular classes. Mr. Speaker, I know this proposal works because we already tried it, not in theory, in practice. In my home province of Bataan, I authored an ordinance establishing English Competency Week. At nakita namin gumana. Hindi namin pinilit ang mga estudyante. Hindi namin sila pinahiya. Ginawa naming masaya. At higit sa lahat, wala pong pinagmulta kapag nagkamali ng grammar. Students participated, teachers embraced it, schools supported it. It was not about perfection, it was about participation. Sometimes, public policy succeeds not by compelling behavior, but by nudging it. Mr. Speaker, every August, we proudly celebrate Buwan ng Wika. At tama lang yon. Dapat lang natin ipagdiwang ang ating pambansang wika. Some may ask, why the first week of September? Because it comes right after Buwan ng Wika. August reminds us who we are. September reminds us what we can become. Filipino strengthens our national identity. English strengthens our global competitiveness. They are not competitors, they are partners. Hindi kailangan mamili, kailangan natin pag-husayin ang dalawa. Mr. Speaker, allow me to end on a personal note. Some may think I am co-sponsoring this measure because I lived in the US for more than 20 years. Hindi po yun ang dahilan. Hindi ito tungkol sa Amerika, tungkol ito sa Pilipinas, tungkol ito sa Pilipino naghahanap ng mas magandang trabaho, tungkol ito sa Pilipinong gusto makipagsabayan sa buong mundo. Madalas nating marinig na ang pagsasalita ng Pilipino ay tanda ng pagmamahal sa bayan. Totoo po yon, pero nais kong idagdag ang pagmamahal sa bayan na hindi lamang pagsasalita ng Pilipino. Kasama rin dito ang pagbibigay sa bawat Pilipino ng kakayahang makipagsabayan saan mang panig ng mundo. Hindi para maging mas Amerikano, kundi maging mas competitive na Pilipino. Hindi para kalimutan ang ating wika, kundi para palawakin ang oportunidad ng ating mga kababayan. Yan din ay patriotism. Mr. Speaker, Filipino reminds us of who we are. English helps determine where we can go. One gives us identity, the other expands our opportunity. The truly competitive Filipino speaks both with pride. I respectfully urge approval of Committee Report Number 474 and House Bill 9970. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.